everybody. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the finale of our Jim Henson's Labyrinth tabletop RPG game. We are going to be confronting the Goblin King herself in her castle today, which is very exciting. But before that, just a couple of introductions and such. First of all, just as a reminder, we are raising money for the Trevor Project today, which is a fantastic, if I could get my chat commands to work, that'd be great, a fantastic organization and a very important one, and they provide mental health resources, crisis intervention, and suicide prevention services to LGBTQIA plus youth. They're an organization that I personally have supported for a really long time, and so I'm glad to be doing that this month. We do have incentives. If you do donate, you can affect the game in a variety of ways. Those are also listed in chat. The Goblin King appearing may be less appealing at the moment because that essentially ends the game now that we're in the castle. So maybe don't do that one. But I didn't think about that until right now. We'll figure it out. But feel free to donate if you'd like, and then put in the notes if you'd like to help a certain player, hinder a certain player, etc. And we can go from there. But all of your donations go directly to the Trevor Project, which is great. We're hoping to get to $500 today. The original goal was $200, so anything we raise is fantastic. But if we can get to $500, that'd be awesome. So definitely check out the donation link in chat. Let's go ahead and just say who we are and who we're playing. My name is Caitlin, aka A Theaterphile. This is my channel, and I am playing the Goblin King today. Mitch, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I am Mitch, also known as Penny for a Tail, and I am playing Black Star, who's a big worm now.
Yay.
All right,
I was gonna say, I'm Lady Dave, and I'm playing Scorch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I set things on fire, and I'm trying to think. That's what I do. Sometimes my fingers come off. Don't worry about it. That's normal.
Julian.
Hi, I'm Julian, and today I will be playing the magnificent Lady Bun, who apparently finally ate enough of her fill, so maybe
I'm
she
so
won't.
happy.
No, she's still gonna talk about food.
All right, Anna.
Yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny. I'm playing Lady Linelia, who is now known as the Sparrow Prince, and also her noble steed, Mr. Scrabbles the Badger.
And last but certainly not least, Ed.
Hi, I'm Ed. I'm going to be playing Zubu today. He is a big-horned beast.
All right, and unfortunately, Abby could not join us today. Clove, the Dwarven Gardener, has returned to the Labyrinth, having helped her friends reach the gates of the castle itself. So,
This Clove.
last we left off, you all, well, 4 of you, sans Lady Bun, excuse me, we're standing at the gates of the Goblin King's castle. Having made your way through the rock tunnels and stone walls, through the hedge maze, through the land of yore, and then through the Goblin City itself, you had now made your way to the castle. As you approach, you do hear a familiar chuckle, and you look up to see the Goblin King once again standing on a parapet a ways above you.
Hi.
And she looks down and says, "Well, I did not expect you to get this far. Unfortunately, there's no way that you'll navigate through my castle in time, but just to make things a little more interesting," and she snaps her fingers, "Lady Bun, you having been in this buffet ballroom extravaganza, suddenly hear a loud kind of crashing sound. The world falls away, and when you open your eyes once again, you're standing at the gates of a castle, and your friends are there."
Like rising yeast in an oven.
Whoa.
Bun returns. I might be dying.
Buns is back. Did you get your buffet? Because the Goblin King said you were in the castle, and we thought maybe you got your buffet, maybe.
You see her on her back, and Bun was pretty hefty before, but you just see this large hump of a tummy. And she just goes, I could always have dessert again. Did you guys get David Bowie back? Why am I back outside? Oh, you're a pretty good dancer, you know that?
We're still on our
Waves a
quest.
claw.
She kind of nods and she says, well, we can't give you all the advantage, though. And you see a large clock appear next to her, and she kind of wiggles her finger, and the clock starts turning and turning and turning.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Time out.
Until there is 1 hour left on the clock.
Oh, no.
And she says,
That's not fair.
I know.
That's cheating.
I mean, she already wined and dined me. I can't complain.
and she just says, enjoy my castle, and disappears.
I wanted to enjoy the castle, but now we only have an hour, and it looks really big. I don't know if we're gonna do.
We can't see any of the sights now.
Yeah, I don't even know if we have time to unpack.
Or go to the gift shop.
Crap.
I mean, at least I went to the buffet, which, to be fair, I've had better. She slowly gets up and crawls onto the back of Basil, who is her black and white Tegu mount. She goes, well, we'll be able to do it. As long as we don't need to run really fast, we'll be able to do it. She pats her tummy.
There.
All right.
So
Let's do this.
So as you look ahead of you, you do see the gates to the Goblin King's castle. There is a short stone bridge that arches over a moat that is bubbling with some kind of oozy, stinky substance. There is a pair of massive wooden doors that stand shut, and everything is strangely quiet, with one... Nope, with no exceptions. It's quiet. And yeah, you have this pair of heavy doors in front of you and a bridge over a moat.
Shall we finish this, friends?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of wasting time doing this, but who wants to take bets that the bridge is bugged?
What? No. Bugged? Mm-mm.
I don't
Fine.
see any bugs.
That's
I
kind of
agree with
rude.
Scorch.
Am I? What am I?
Big? Good for you. She kind of paps you.
Thank you. Let's do this. And I'll start inching my way over.
All right, you all make your way across the bridge. Easily enough, you make your way to the wooden doors that are closed currently. They do look very heavy.
I will try to open it.
All right, go ahead. Is anyone helping Scorch, or is it just Scorch?
Yes!
I'll help.
Okay, who is helping? Okay, so Scorch, normally this is a difficulty 6. You're going to reduce that by 2 because there are 2 people helping you. So you need a 4. If you have any kind of strength-based skill, that'll give you help.
Sure do not. Sure do not.
All right, so difficulty 4.
4!
All right. So Scorch, you run up and you're kind of pulling on the door. Blackstar kind of suctions himself to your back and starts pulling as well. Lady Linelia grabs onto Blackstar and starts pulling, and you feel one of your arms almost start to pop off a little bit as the door slowly starts to swing open. So, it is quiet. You don't really hear much. So you open the door and it leads into a little kind of foyer area. Very nice. That kind of stone Gothic look. And the kind of, there's 2 hallways, one that kind of leads directly in front of you and one that leads off to the right.
Should we veer off the course?
Labyrinth has never been straightforward.
maybe they're using reverse psychology on us. Like the one time when we weren't supposed to go forward, and then we went back, and then we jumped in a pot. Good times.
Does
That
anyone
was
have a good nose? Maybe we could smell David Bowie from here.
What does David Bowie smell like?
Glitter.
Did we establish that last time? We have established that, didn't we? There's a whole
Yeah.
thing. We got covered in goo and it smelled like David Bowie, or so we thought.
Sunsets and
good.
rainbows.
Yeah.
Majesty and dreams.
Mr. Scrabbles might be able to track him.
Mr. Squabbles, we'll go do the thing.
Go ahead and roll me. We'll say difficulty 4 because Mr. Scrabbles has probably not met David Bowie, but he has heard about what he
That's
smells
fair.
like.
Is Mr. Scrabbles good at smelling things?
Yeah, he's a badger. I'd say give him help.
I rolled 2 1s.
Okay. Mr. Scrabbles does not smell anything that seems to smell like David Bowie. He gets distracted. You can see there might be some food remnants in and around the person of Lady Bun. And Mr. Scrabbles is just very distracted by Lady Bun's general presence and is unable to smell anything.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. There's an extra knish, cannoli. Which one does he want?
He eats baked goods of all kind. He would love any of them. But that didn't work. I guess we just pick a direction.
Right.
You going right? Okay. So you make your way down the right side hallway and you see like a weird flickering. And as you get closer, you can see that this room is lit by a number of torchlights or torches that are providing torchlight. And you see what appears to be a library. There are books, shelves throughout. There are books stacked on the floor, on tables, like balanced on windowsills. There is this kind of flickering torchlight everywhere. It's very dusty, and the scent of like mold and like old leather fill your nose as you enter. As you make your way into the room, some of the books start to move in kind of a frenetic, agitated way, and they come towards you and kind of open and just like hover in front of your faces, almost like they're trying to get your attention.
Take it.
But you can't really you're not really able to see in front of you because there's just books.
I sneeze and my fingers like flame a little bit.
Okay. The books near you immediately back up. The others kind of continue to like float in front of each of you, open to various pages.
Can we read them? Well, what do they say?
Sure. So let's see. I'm gonna roll for it. Black Star, you look at your book. The title of the book is Entirely Nonsense. And as you kind of look at the pages that are open to you, it seems to be a dictionary, but made up of only words that don't actually exist. As you kind of take the time, excuse me, to read those pages, the book slows down and eventually kind of closes itself and flies back over to a shelf.
What are these things? I now know words that should never have existed. But if they're in a book, don't they exist?
It's very wise, Blackstar. Zuba's rubbing off on you.
It's your interpretation. And then Bun will kind of like reach up with a little pause to like grab the one book to see.
Okay.
I'll read mine as well.
All right. Lady Bun. You have a book titled A World of Tomorrows. It is a science fiction portrayal of the futuristic year of 1987.
Perfect.
And
I think
Lady
I just
Lynn.
learned about hoverboards.
Yeah.
Did you?
Lady
Future
Linelia.
sounds great.
You have a book called Rainbow Nights. It appears to be a children's book. Nights as in like day and night, not nights as in you and Lady Bun. It appears to be a children's book with very colorful pictures. But the illustrations seem to be a little bit off. Like the colors and the illustrations don't quite match, or the colors and the line work don't quite match up.
Zubu will read his book too.
Okay. Your book is entitled The Labyrinth, and it is a tattered red book of fairy stories.
Oh, why is the end missing?
Because you have to fill it in.
All right. Is anyone else? So I think everyone has either read their books or scared them off with fire. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So as you kind of read your way through each of your flip through the books, they do kind of settle down. You get the sense that they just probably haven't been read in a while, and they were upset. Scorch, there are still a couple of books that are hovering in your general vicinity, but they are not impeding your progress, given that they are seemingly uncomfortable with the fire currently coming out of you.
It was just a little bit. It was just that, like, and then it went away. I mean,
I think that was enough.
I'm sorry. I didn't. It's an automatic reaction. It's very dusty in here, and I couldn't help it. And I would like to take a peek at one of them if that's possible.
Yeah, totally.
I show the hands. They're not on fire anymore.
Okay. You find a book called The Knights of Yore. And it is full of stories of brave deeds and daring do.
Oh, like Lady Bun and Lady Linelia.
And me.
And Blackstart, yes. Oh wait, I'm a Knights of Yore. I got knighted.
It's true.
So it's about me now. I forgot. Zubu and I got knighted?
You did.
That only happened, like, not that long ago.
All right.
It's hard to tell because he moved the hours, and so I can't keep track anymore of how many hours ago because he moved them forward because the Goblin King moved. Anyway.
So you do see an exit on the far side of the room, and the books do not seem to be impeding your progress at this point. Oh, I should also note, because I forgot to say, in the castle, if you would ever like to backtrack, and may or may not be required, backtracking is no longer a test. It is just something you can do now that you're in the castle, because with one exception, and we'll get to that, but the likelihood of getting lost in these rooms is much lower. So if you need to return to a room for any reason, you can do that easily now.
Are there any, like, super fancy books that none of us have read that, like, look real pretty?
Yeah, as you look around, you do see one book, kind of sitting propped open on a windowsill that is kind of this, like, red leather, gold embossed cover, all of that kind of stuff.
If it's really pretty, I would like to try and pick it up.
Okay. You do pick it up. You see a couple of the books rustle a little bit, but given that you have, now confirmed that you are readers, the books don't seem to mind too much. So you pick it up, and the cover of the book does say just Labyrinth across the top.
Is this like the same one that Zubu read?
That was The Labyrinth, which is
different.
apparently different.
Different book.
This one, as you flip through it, does tell the story of a young girl named Sarah who was brought to the labyrinth on a quest to save her younger brother who had been taken by the Goblin King. And it details her exploits as she made her way to the castle and eventually was able to save her brother and returned to the human world.
That's a good story. Do you think the books would get mad if I took this one? It's really pretty.
Scorch, can you
What?
imagine angering books and then for the rest of your life not wondering if a book is slipping into your house while you sleep? Or if a book you pick up might be a cloaked assassin, maybe a diary or journal you want to divulge your secrets in, and then at the last minute, it attacks.
It's also not very honorable to steal. And if you're a knight now, you're supposed to be honorable.
I mean, it was just sitting here. Is it really stealing? Like, it was just there.
Maybe there's like a library checkout system.
That sounds hard.
Maybe we should look for the checkout system or the librarian afterwards, because we are kind of short on time.
Yeah, okay. Bye, book.
The book does not respond.
Fare thee well, book. Fare thee well.
All right, are you moving forward?
Sure.
Okay. So you continue forward and you kind of take a little bit of like a left turn. And you enter a room that is full of these like ornate dressers. Several mannequins are kind of spread throughout. There's a skylight that's letting in sun from outside. A very, very tall mirror, like full length and then some. And on the far side of the wall, there's kind of this like curtained archway. And all of the mannequins are wearing clothing that of various types. They're all kind of like robes, vests, jackets, very tight pants. And each of them, the clothes seem to be similar to what you've seen the Goblin King wearing.
Are there worm mannequins?
There are not. The mannequins are Goblin King shaped.
Those are... I don't like leg prisons. Those are
Love
leg
them.
prisons.
What they're called? Leg prisons? I mean, I don't wear that either.
You know, she kind of kicks out a little foot, little paw.
As you enter the room, several of the mannequins' heads just like turn to face you.
Oh no.
Hello!
We would like your tightest clothes, please.
You, Blackstar, would like your tightest clothes.
In the name of David Bowie.
Two of the mannequins kind of like, they can't walk because their legs don't move, so they kind of hop. But two of them hop forward and are standing in front of the curtained archway.
Approach said archway?
As you start moving towards the archway, the rest of the mannequins, there are 7 of them in total, also kind of hop forward until they kind of form this like curved line in front of the archway. And as you continue to approach, one of them hops forward and kind of like bumps into you. Surprisingly heavy for a mannequin.
It's bumping into?
Mm-hmm. It kind of like butts into you, and yeah, exactly, like a come at me bro kind of a thing.
Oh, all right. I'll flop on it. I'll do the worm.
Okay.
Sound effect for me.
We're gonna go ahead and go into an action scene.
Okay.
All right. So as we start, we'll start with Blackstar since you did start. So you are doing the worm on the mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
What is your goal here?
I feel like it's trying to come at me with a dance battle, and so I guess to impress it.
Okay. Go ahead. We'll say difficulty Probably 5 because it doesn't actually seem to have eyes. So you'll have to impress it with your, like, it'll have to feel you doing the worm. If you have any kind of performance-based skill, you would get help on this.
No.
All right.
And
So then,
I failed.
okay.
See?
So you do the worm. It looks like it feels like you did an excellent job. The
I
mannequins
should be good at this.
Yeah. The mannequins don't seem to be particularly moved, but we'll come back to that. Lady Dame, what would you like? Or sorry, Scorch, what would you like to do?
Okay, so there's a whole line of them, right?
There are
Okay.
7 of them, and they're kind of
7 of them.
so the archway. I'm just saving my place in the book. 1 second. So the archway is here, and they're kind of like curved like this around the entrance of the archway.
I would like to sort of the ones that are closest to the center of the archway.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to pop off my hands
Okay.
and have them sort of spider their way over to the feet of said mannequins, and then have my fingers set on fire to heat their toes up and put their toes on fire, because then they will move. Because I remember, if you heat up their feet, then they start dancing.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it is with other people. I don't know if it's going to work with the mannequins, but it's a trick that I used to use back. It was always really funny with the other fireys. So yeah.
Okay. We're gonna say difficulty 5 again.
Okay. And I don't get help on this. This is just me rolling well. Okay. It's fine. Dear dice, don't fail me. That's a 1.
Okay. So your hands move forward, and kind of latch on to the feet of these 2 mannequins and light up. And you do see a little bit of like smoking start to happen, not from the mannequin itself, but from like the cuffs of the pants that the mannequin is wearing. As the clothes get damaged, all 7 of the mannequins immediately turn and look directly at Scorch.
Uh-oh.
Lady Bun, what are you doing?
Oh my. So I have a question. I still have this potion of mini much
Yes, you do.
on me. Is this something that needs to be ingested, or is this something that we could sprinkle on individuals?
You can. It came with you. Or words. When you purchased it, it came with a sprayer, so you can spritz it on people. I don't know. Let me see if I can find that page. I don't remember how many you have.
I think I only have 1, so I'm not sure if I have to like. And it's for 1 hour, so I don't know if I can only use it on 1 or if I could like spritz it on.
I'd say
people
you
for
could
a short period
probably,
of
with
time.
1 spritz, probably hit 2 of the mannequins.
Okay, I think I'd like to do that because
Okay.
I think like once they all go towards Scorch, Bun went, "Oh no, that's a horror movie."
Yep.
Okay.
Sure is.
Go ahead. This wouldn't be particularly hard because they're not moving very fast. So I'd say difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. Okay. And then just so I remember, I'm only rolling 1 dice, right? Or am I rolling
Correct.
2?
You're rolling
Okay.
1.
1 dice. Okay. So we're doing bad. I rolled a 1 as well.
Okay.
I spray myself.
I'm trying. So you are up near the mannequins, as is Black Star. Everybody else is front of back. Go ahead and roll me a d6. On a 1 to 3, you spray yourself. On a 4 to 6, you spray Black Star.
Oh God.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. We'll resolve that in a second. Lady Linelia,
I'm sorry.
what are you doing?
Okay. So things are going poorly. So
Correct.
well enough that I've kind of lost track of where the mannequins are. So they're in our path, right? They're still in our path.
Yes. So there's an archway that's got curtains on it that is the exit to this room, and it's right here. And they're kind of curved in an arch like standing in a line in
Okay.
front of it. Julian does make an excellent point. If you would like to help our players stop rolling terribly, you can donate, and that will provide them with assistance.
Help us. We can't.
Hi. Since all of our efforts have failed so far, I am going to spur Mr. Scrabbles on
Okay.
and charge at the center of this wall of defenders because I'm a knight and that's what I do.
Okay. Are you trying to hit any of them or just charge through them?
Bowl through them.
Okay, great.
Hoping that mannequins, they fall over pretty easily.
They do.
So.
They're top heavy. These, as written, are noted that they are fairly heavy, but they are top heavy, and you are kind of hitting them in the bottom half. So let's go ahead and say difficulty. We'll say 3 because Mr. Scrabbles is helping.
Hey, I rolled a 6.
Okay, great. So yes, you kind of just bowl towards the middle 2 mannequins, which still have Scorch's hands kind of like clasped around their ankles, and you bowl them right over. They both they wobble for a moment, and then they both just kind of topple backwards, and are kind of like turtling a little bit on their backs. Yeah, and you can run right up to the archway.
As I bowl through them, I will yell, "To me!"
Excellent. All right, Zubu.
Zubu's gonna stick his arms out and just do a windmill through the mannequins.
Okay. We'll do difficulty 3 again.
Okay. I'm using my Edge of Space dice.
All right.
In honor of David Bowie.
Ooh.
Nice.
That was a 6.
Awesome. All right. So you pull out your arms and just start spinning, and you windmill through 2 more of the mannequins, go onto their backs, and seem to be incapacitated. So there are now only 3 mannequins up. And you also make your way to that archway. Just to resolve a couple of things first. So, Black Star, you complete your worm. Very impressive, although the mannequins don't seem to be particularly moved by it. And as you finish, you see out of the corner of your eye Lady Bun kind of like, she pulls out her poison sprayer and then she kind of fumbles a little bit, and you hear this kind of spritzing noise and feel something just like gently spritz the side of your face. And after a moment, you start to shrink.
Everyone's getting bigger. They made everyone bigger.
So you don't, you shrink back to about what your size was. You do know that this potion only lasts an hour, so you will not be permanently small. You will return to your new large size after an hour, but you are currently back at your original size.
This is better. My power has been unlocked.
That's better.
As that happens, also the 3 remaining mannequins, all still laser focused on Scorch, start hopping towards you, and one of them does reach you and manages to kind of like headbutt you essentially. Go ahead and roll me difficulty 2, but just to make sure you don't fall backwards.
Okay. 4.
Great. Okay, so it does headbutt you pretty hard, but you manage to keep your footing.
I'm resilient.
Yes.
Not
All right.
really.
So we're gonna go into our next round because we do still have 3 mannequins that are up and about. So Black Star, what would you like to do?
I am going to just kind of huddle and try to launch myself at the face of a mannequin.
Okay. Easy enough to do. We'll say difficulty. We'll say 3.
All right.
Are you trying to just get on the head, or are you trying to knock it over?
Knock it over. Face
Okay.
slap.
Great. Difficulty 3.
Black Star. I got a 6.
Also, we just hit our goal because somebody just donated $80.
Hey!
Ooh.
Thank you, anonymous person. We appreciate it. Let me just check real quick because I forgot to pull Tiltify up just to see if there are any
Anonymous.
any comments on that.
There we go.
4 times help. Okay, everybody in the party has 4 help rolls.
Hey!
Wow.
All right, let's get David Bowie.
Let's go!
Thank you so much for that donation. We just hit our goal. Yay!
Yay!
All right, stream over. Peace out, guys.
Bye. No. Okay. Great. So, Black Star, did you roll? Sorry. I got distracted.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Perfect. Okay, so you kind of like coil back, launch yourself forward, and hit this mannequin right square in the middle of where its eyes would be if it had eyes. And it does kind of like teeter for a moment and then topple over backwards.
Black Star!
You kind of go down with it, but very, safely. You're just on top of its face. So no damage to you there. We still have 2 up remaining Scorch. They are both heading directly for you. What would you like to do? Also, your hands are still attached to 2 of the downed mannequins.
They are.
Yes.
The one who headbutted me,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to also headbutt it back.
Okay.
But this time, but I have a little more heft behind my head, I like to think, because I sort of like lean back and then sort of launch my head at him, like the whole head.
Okay. Great. We'll say difficulty 3, but you have the helps if you'd like to use them. I would say you don't need to use them on this because you would have advantage because taking off your body parts and throwing them is what you do.
Yes.
So.
I got 2 5s, so yeah.
Great. Okay. So you pop your head off and just chuck it at this nearest mannequin. It does not seem to be expecting that, which is understandable. And it does kind of, again, topple over backwards and become motionless. So there is 1 remaining mannequin up and terrorizing Scorch. Lady Bun, what would you like to do?
Do what dogs do best, and probably what lizards do best. Bite ankles.
Lick people.
Okay.
Bite ankles, topple over.
All right. We'll say difficulty 3 again, and you do have help donated if you need it.
I would love to use that. I got a 4, a 2 and a 4.
All right. So you charge forward at this 1 remaining mannequin and just start nipping at its ankles. It can't, like move its feet up and down necessarily, but you get the sense as it kind of rocks from side to side that that's what it's trying to do. And it does after a moment lose its balance and fall over backwards. So all of the mannequins are downed. Scorch, if you would like to retrieve your hands, you can do so.
And my head, yeah.
And your head.
The hands sort of crawl back over to the body. The head sort of rolls its way back up and sort of rolls up the body and pops back on. At first, it's backwards. Although it's hard to tell with Scorch what's on right and what's on wrong. Actually, it stays on backwards for a while. So that's Scorch is just going to be walking backwards for a minute.
All right. Great. Okay, so you have cleared the room of all the mannequins, and the doorway is open to you.
Excellent. Forward.
Onward!
Once more into the breach.
Okay. One second. Okay. So as you make your way into the next room, you see a disaster. Honestly, there's food, there's trash everywhere, there's bits of broken furniture. It looks like just somebody threw a massive rager in this room. There, with one exception, there is a throne sitting on the side of the room that is spotless. And then in the middle of the room, there's what looks like a kind of a 3 or 4 foot pit, just kind of circular. Nothing in it, but there's just like kind of a depressed area of the room. Near the throne, there is also a bell that's just kind of hanging on the wall. There is a clock that looks like it has daggers for hands that currently shows 1 hour remaining.
Huh.
And there are two stairways, one leading up and one leading down. Yeah. As you move towards, take back the thing I said about there not being anything in the pit. As you move forwards, as you can look into the pit, you do see there is one goblin that just appears to be taking a nap in the pit, just kind of like passed out on one of the sides.
Hello?
Should we wake up the goblin?
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll blow in his nose. And I'll inch my way forward and be like,
He kind of like, hey, right? Uh-oh, you're not supposed to be here.
Where are we
Are you
supposed to be?
Are you
No,
supposed
we-
to be taking a nap?
Well, no. Intruders!
No, the Goblin King.
Intruders!
The Goblin King had us come here. We had to go through a whole thing to
Yeah.
get here.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh.
that counts as being
We
invited.
were exactly what Lady Linelia said.
Oh, you were invited.
Huh?
I just got done with the buffet and a beautiful dance.
She specifically told us to come here.
Oh,
it's cool, bro.
you were invited. I
Be a
see.
homie.
They said they're invited, and another goblin kind of like falls down off like a rafter and just goes, "Oh, they're invited!" And somebody else like pops his head up from underneath a rug. "Oh, they're invited!" Okay, well, I mean, I suppose if you were invited, would you like a drink?
Actually, yeah, that'd be lovely. What were we
I
talking
can always
about?
drink.
Zubu's
dep-
parched.
Maybe a quick one?
We are
Depends
some
on what it
thirsty
is.
people.
I don't generally get thirsty and have an aversion to water personally.
He holds out, he kind of like rummages through a couple of like piles of stuff and pulls out what looks like a half-drunk, some kind of ale, and goes, I don't know whose this was, but, you want it?
Yes.
Alright, Black Star, you take the ale.
And I'll drink. I mean, does anyone else want some? Zubu?
Sure.
I'll pour him. I'll put some ale in my hands and bring it to Zubu's lips.
Okay, you both drink a little bit of it. It tastes like day-old, half-drunk, fallen soldier, frat boy beer.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
so a lot
This
of
Coors Light.
I mean,
A
not
lot of
even. We're talking like
backwash.
Keystone. Like,
Ooh.
I'm like, anyone else want in on this?
I'm good, but thank you. Liquids and me.
I'm okay.
Just...
Thank you, though.
I already had fine wine, so I mean, that would just be a level below.
Okay. And he'll put his mouth on like the end of the bottle and just like, oh.
you look over and the goblin has passed back out in the corner.
Oh. Well, this is just a nice room.
I know they're very friendly. I guess
Go up and down.
I mean,
Always up?
up. Why would we go down when we can go up? It's not like we're Batman. Sorry, I totally fucked that joke up.
Just shaking my head.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to Saturday afternoon Labyrinth.
It's so
Yeah.
Cool, you going up or
So
down?
we're
Up
gonna
we
go
go.
up.
Okay. You may. Damn it, LT.
I'll just go now. It's fine. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
It's cool. It's cool.
That's my ab workout for the day. So you make your way up the stairs, and after, like one kind of like flight, it opens up into a much larger room. The stairs continue, as do many other sets of stairs, not all going the same direction. So you have the stairs that you're on, you have stairs going sideways, you have stairs going down that looks like an MC Escher painting, just stairs everywhere. You see a number of entrances and exits from this room. Again, some of them are upside down or sideways, etc. And let's see. An intense feeling of confusion and vertigo threatens to overwhelm you in this room. So there are. This is as I mentioned before. This is the room where backtracking becomes difficult, and or mandatory depending on how you roll. So navigating in and out of this room does require dice rolls. So what we will say, and again, this is a little different because we don't have a map in front of all of you. We'll say door A and door B are the exits out of this room that you would be attempting to get to. You may end up elsewhere. But door A is kind of adorned with fine kind of gold filigree. There are some crystals, that kind of thing. Door B looks like there are a couple of like scorch marks on the door. There's like what looks like some flour that got kind of like foofed out and like stuck to the side of the door frame. So yeah, you get to choose as a group which door you would like to head to, and then we will find out whether you actually make it there or not.
Gold filigree sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's shiny. I like shiny.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds
Okay.
expensive.
Is anyone skilled in navigation or things that would help with that?
Mr. Scrabbles has never got me lost before. He's not skilled in navigation, but since nobody is,
Lady Lily, you have perception though, right?
I do.
Okay,
Spotting
good.
and listening.
That would count as well. So why don't we have you go ahead and make the roll, because you'll make it with advantage. Your difficulty is 5 to make it to the correct door.
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. So Lady Linelia, you kind of like lean down and like whisper to Mr. Scrabbles and give him a little bit of a pep talk, and everyone else you watch and follow as Lady Linelia just moves, exactly where she needs to. You go up a staircase, you go underneath a staircase, you go around and beside one of the staircases, and somehow you end up directly at door A, which I have to get to now. Okay. As you enter this room, you see a room like a dazzling snow globe, draped in satin lit by flickering chandeliers and candelabras. Everything seems to kind of spin and swirl gently. Strange masked dancers in elaborate costumes laugh and threaten to grab your arm and pull you into the revelry. The room is filled with music that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere. Lady Bun, this room is very familiar.
My regrets.
You do see a beautiful buffet laid out. There is a gorgeous dance floor with dancers in all of the finery you can see. There is a staircase at the center of the ballroom that kind of swirls upwards. Yeah, there, and the dance floor is like around the staircase.
We definitely don't have time to dance, but I think the obvious exit is past the dessert table. We can pick up those pies we talked about on the way up the stairs.
The pies.
It was delicious.
Yeah, pies does sound amazing.
Okay.
I would like to be in on this.
So you're making your way to the banquet table. Okay.
I will be grooving the entire time. I would just like to make that very clear. There
Okay.
will be.
Your
Grooving.
grooving is appreciated, notably by the other dancers. Is anyone... So once you reach the buffet table, are you taking food from the buffet or are you eating?
Eating.
Oh, I think like a pie to go.
Okay. What's everybody... So we have one eating, one to go.
I'm dancing.
You're dancing. Okay.
Dance and eat at the same time.
Okay.
Pie to go.
Pie to go. Okay. Black Star and Lady Bun. I need you both to make rolls to... Let's see. Resist. So anything in Constitution... Endurance would count here. Your difficulty is 6.
Oh.
So you do have donated
I'm about
help
to go back to
rolls.
sleep, guys.
You do have donated help rolls. I would suggest using them.
So I'm gonna use mine, and I got a 6 and a 4.
Okay.
Hey!
Mitch looks upset and or frozen.
Oh, frozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm not frozen. I'm just
Just
looking at my dice and their unwillingness to roll above a 3.
Oh no.
What did you get?
I used help and it still didn't help.
Okay. So this actually makes sense. Lady Bun, so you do kind of dig into a pie and you do get what is a fairly familiar urge to just sit down and just eat and eat and eat. But you've already done that. So you remember what it feels like to how uncomfortable you were after your first trip to the buffet, and you are able to resist the urge. Black Star, unfortunately you are not. So you go in to kind of like take a bite and then keep moving, and instead you sit down and just go to town. So the rest of you see Lady Linelia and Zubu, you are able to grab pies with no difficulty. The rest of you, though, see Black Star with no intention of leaving this room.
He's just on like a cherry pie, rolling around and licking the crust.
Not my coffee at that.
No.
Black Star, we have to go. Did you want to take some of this food with you?
My hands, I don't have hands that are big enough to carry this pie. If you just give me like 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure I can finish it.
We don't have time. Zubu, could you just carry the pie with Black Star?
Zubu will just like scoop out a section of pie with Black Star on
No,
it.
the whole pie.
Okay,
Don't
okay, the whole
scoop.
pie.
Believe me, I understand that the pie is that good.
Dog, it's amazing. It's cherry glazed goodness, raw sugar. There's a sort of crunchiness. I love it.
Okay. So you are able to move with Black Star in the pie because Black Star is fortunately at this point very small still. I will say, as long as Black Star is in the pie, he is incapacitated. They are incapacitated to do anything else.
Pretty much how I eat pies anyway.
So they will
that's
need
fair.
to be
That's fair.
removed from the pie before they can do anything else. But you have secured some pies. You do have a staircase leading up out of this room. It is surrounded by a ring of dancers. What would you like to do?
Dance my way, shimmy my way, by
Yep.
them.
Okay. Scorch and Lady Bun is dancing. You are able to, without too much difficulty, make it through the dancers. They do tend to part as they see your wicked dance moves.
They're
and
very
you are able to make it to the base of the staircase with no trouble.
There's some break dancing moves on the floor, spinning around and around and around towards the thing. It's like,
Alright.
Dance.
Lady Linelia and Zubu. Are you dancing as well?
Somewhat, but I'm riding Mr. Scrabbles and he's doing, the traditional badger dance, so there's a lot of up and
Not a
down.
lot of moving, yeah.
All right. There's some slight applause from the dancers as they see the traditional dance of the badgers, and they let you pass through as well. Thank you so much for that donation.
hey,
We do have another help for everybody.
Hooray!
Thank you so much, Vuroth, for that donation. And yes, helping Bowie and the Trevor Project is definitely a win-win. I agree. All right.
Zubu's gonna shuffle his shoulders as he walks through.
Excellent. You get some shimmies back. Great. So you are all able to make your way through the dance floor. Blackstar, you are exempt because you are in the pie in Zubu's hands, so they let you pass along with Zubu. And you are able to make it to the staircase. As you move upwards... as you move upwards, you see again the same kind of marks that you saw on the second door in the stair room, with kind of like scorch marks, bits of flour, that kind of thing. And as you enter this room, you see what is undoubtedly the kitchen. It is full of blazing heat, the aromas of wood smoke, spices, roasting meats. There are about a dozen goblins in here frantically preparing a huge meal. None of them seem to actually know what they're doing. But they're just kind of running around. One unusually large, rotund goblin in an apron struts around inspecting the food and shouting insults at all of his underlings. So you see this, just chaos of a kitchen. And as you enter the room, someone kind of trips and falls. And a very large vat just spills over everywhere. The goblins start shouting. They're climbing up on things. They're trying to get off the floor as this boiling stew covers the floor of the kitchen. There's one or two that are kind of hopping from foot to foot trying to get out of the room. You do see a door on the other side of the room that several of them, that kind of staircases up, that several of them are trying to make their way to. But you are currently on one side of the room. That staircase is on the other side of the room, and there is boiling stew across the floor. So essentially, the floor is lava. What would you like to do?
I'm watching all of this, eating some pie with my really long fork.
Go ahead and roll me a resisting check. Difficulty is now 3 because you have left the ballroom.
Roll a 6.
All right.
Hey.
You are able to enjoy that pie without being tempted to go back for more.
I have a question. In this kitchen, is there kind of that preparation island in the middle where people normally set the plates up and whatnot? Okay.
Yes, there is a large counter. It looks like this.
Oh, perfect.
But there's a large counter that kind of goes throughout the middle of the room. There are several goblins. I would say 3 goblins currently hunched on top of it. But you could still get up there if you'd like.
Those goblins might be pretty small in comparison to a slippery lizard sliding across the metal surface.
Yep.
The whole way. So I'm gonna try to slip and slide my way down.
Okay.
With Basil.
All right. We'll say. Do you want to avoid the goblins or just barrel through them?
It's not very honorable to barrel through them, so I think I'm gonna have to avoid them.
Okay, so difficulty is going to be a little higher. We'll go difficulty 4. You do have help if you want it.
Yes. We'll use it.
And difficulty 4 to get to the other side of the island.
I got a 4 and a 3.
Okay, great. So you kind of back up a little bit with your lizardy mount and kind of take a bit of a running jump, make it onto the island, and you just skid across. You're kind of swerving out of the way of several of the goblins that are there. You reach the other side of the island, launch off, and land very firmly on the stairs on the far side.
Nice.
Several of the goblins kind of, one of them holds up a piece of paper, and he's scrabbled a 10 on it.
Nice.
All right. What would anyone else like to do?
Well, I have an idea.
Okay.
I do have the very long lance still.
You have a 10-foot lance. Yes, you do.
I do. And so I was thinking that I can I can hold it and people could type and all the friends could tightrope to the island on the one side. I don't know how I would get there, but honestly, that's okay. We can just I can figure that out.
Okay.
I'm agile, and also I'm less concerned about the fire hurting me because
Right.
I am flame. But yeah,
That would be helpful because according to Google, badgers cannot jump. So
But Google must be wrong.
But they can tightrope walk the badgers. Sure.
very
I
good at
would
climbing.
say you could definitely do that. It would be like a balance check from everybody else. I would say that if you're going to have Zubu do that, you are going to roll to see whether or not your lance breaks.
Fair enough.
Because Zubu is very big.
What?
So- Zubu can go last.
Okay. All right.
I know
so-
Black Star's gonna be good at this.
Yeah, so easy enough. You take the lance and kind of lay it across onto the island. And Black Star and Lady Linelia, if you would like to cross on the lance, you can go ahead and make a check. If you have anything with balance or dexterity of any kind as a skill, you'd get help. You also do have donated help rolls available.
I mean, I think I'm still eating the pie, so I'm just with Zubu.
That's true.
till I
That's
am
true. So
done
never
with
mind.
said pie.
Yeah, you're just hanging out. So Lady Linelia, go ahead.
Rolled 2 5s.
Great. Okay.
Hey.
So easy. Mr. Scrabbles jumps up on the lance, makes his way across. You can make your way to the other side of the island. There is about a 7 to 8 foot gap between the end of the island and the staircase. If you would like to go by the biological badger jumping rules, that's fine. If you would like to let the badger jump, I'm fine with that as well. It will be a roll because it is a far jump. But if Mr. Scrabbles wants to try to jump it, you can.
Yeah, well, it's an angle downwards, so as long as he
Yeah.
gets a running start, he doesn't even have to jump. He just has to go off the end.
Right, just momentum. Okay, let's go ahead and say difficulty. This wouldn't be too hard. I'd say difficulty 2, just to make sure that you don't trip into the boilingness. So just don't roll a 1.
Rolled a 6.
Great. Okay, so easy. You
Nice.
back up. Manage to avoid a goblin that's kind of clinging to one of those hanging pot racks, and just take off, land on the other side with no trouble at all.
It's a glorious sight of a
Yep.
soaring badger.
Excellent. All right. Scorch. Okay, Zubu, are you trying to cross on the lance?
Actually, Zubu would like to say to Black Star, Black Star, are you still eating pie? Oh, you can't still be eating pie. Oh, that's gonna be bad for your tummy. I'll tell you what. We're in a kitchen. I can make you a nice palate cleansing sorbet, and then we can finish with the digestif. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Zubu would like to use the chef's skills.
Okay. I'll allow it. How are you getting to the cooking area of the kitchen?
Zubu's also good at running and jumping.
Okay, great.
Maybe
Go
we can avoid
ahead.
breaking the lance that way.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a roll. We'll say difficulty 3, and you do have advantage because of the running and jumping.
Okay.
Just to get to the...
6 and a 4.
All right. So, not even a trouble. You just take a couple of running steps and leap onto that island. You do see all of the things that you would need to create the dish you would like to create. And I'm not even, because you are skilled as a chef, I'm not even going to have you roll for it. So you are able to create a nice sorbet and a nice digestif for Black Star. Yeah, and Black Star, I will leave it up to you, but this would be enough to pull you out of your pie coma if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Great. So you managed to worm your way out of the pie, pun intended. You do have a nice palate cleansing sorbet, and you have returned to your senses.
I would like another.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, he'll whip you up a second one. Great. So would you like to also, Zubu, try to jump to the far side once you're done?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do another roll for me. Difficulty 3 with advantage.
Awesome.
Or with help, rather.
5 this time. But
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, easy enough. So you managed to jump across to the other side as well. So Scorch and Black Star. Black Star, you are on the island. Scorch, you have your lance and are still on the far side of the room. What would you like to do?
I would like, okay, I think now that I have the lance and everybody's at least made it halfway through, I would like to try and use the lance to pole vault over the island and just cross the entire room, because it is a big lance.
It is a big lance. Okay, we'll say difficulty 3. You have help because you are using your tool.
Yes, like Mad Max style on the pole.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I get. Can I use one of my my helps?
You already rolled with advantage, so you
I
cannot,
did.
unfortunately.
I rolled a 2 twos.
Okay. So your lance doesn't break because you didn't roll a 1. You do manage to make it most of the way over. You fall just short of the staircase and you do hit the boiling stew. However, you are not, it's not comfortable. You don't want to stay there.
No.
But because you are a fiery and fire is in fact your nature, you are not harmed by the boiling liquid.
I sort of roll out of it.
Fair enough. All right, Blackstar, you are on the island of this kitchen. How would you like to get to the far side of the staircase?
I think he's gonna shoot himself across.
Okay, easy enough. Difficulty 2, just to make sure you don't trip and fall.
Excellent. All right, guys. Let's do this. 2, exactly.
Great. All right. So it's not the most graceful thing, but you don't fall in the stew. You kind of spring shot your way across. Easy enough. Excuse me. And all of you are now standing on that far side staircase.
Yes.
And as you kind of like center yourselves there, you do hear a very familiar chuckle coming from the room above.
Quick, does anybody have like a quick save option?
No. But quickly, get the vial. If she's returned, maybe now's the time.
The spines come out, the fire, the flames, the fingers light up. I don't have a vial. I just have that.
Are we talking about the vial that I used and used on you by accident?
I think he is.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's
We did use
okay.
that.
Plan E.
Yep. I light everything on fire.
We could ask
That's
nicely
bad.
first.
Honestly, that's my plan. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Yeah.
Bigggne. No, I don't know.
Uh-huh. Hello.
Should probably go.
Yeah. Going.
Okay. So you make your way upstairs, and as you kind of reach the pinnacle of the staircase, you find yourself on a parapet of what seems to be the highest tower of the castle. From here, looking around, you get an unparalleled view of the labyrinth. You can see the Goblin City, the land of yore, the hedge maze, the stone walls, everything spread out below in all of their perplexing glory. And as you kind of like take in this scene, you again hear this kind of chuckle from behind you, and you turn around, and there in all of her glory is the Goblin King. And she kind of looks at you all and says, "Well, you made it all the way here. Interesting. How has your adventure been?"
Lovely. I made new friends, new knights for my table at my kingdom. Do you want this potion that makes you smaller so we can go on a date?
You
It's
no
half
longer
empty.
have that potion.
Oh no, what happened to it?
It got used on you, that's why you shrank.
No!
That's the narrator.
How is this going? How's this gonna work now?
It's okay, you're gonna be bigger in like an hour, remember?
Yeah, but
This is it.
I'm cuter when I'm smaller. That was my...
That's my in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we can't. It's a whole. So, we just really want David Bowie back.
Yes, please.
We made it this far. Can we get him? Can we get the concept of David Bowie back now, please?
Don't you
Goddamn
understand?
No.
All of this I created for you, so that you could have your own David Bowie experience. Why would you want the concept to be out in the world when it can all be right here, anytime you want? Isn't that better?
But then nobody will. Then, like, people have to go through a whole thing to experience David Bowie, and David Bowie is for everybody.
Yeah.
And going through that, we were under a lot of pressure. It wasn't very fair.
Yeah, no.
Besides, we like sharing.
David Bowie is like germs on a subway. It needs to be shared.
I see. Well, you have made it all the way through.
Huh?
I suppose one final test is in order. As you know, I myself am a fan of, well, let's call them puns. Specifically related to our good shared friend, David Bowie. But, as you also may have noticed, I'm running rather short on David Bowie puns. So, if you can provide me, as a group, with 3 excellent David Bowie puns, I may consider your request. Your time starts now.
The
All
one
right.
I just say a second ago count.
It should.
I suppose. 2 more David Bowie puns.
No.
All right, get her.
I'm bad at puns, y'all. I'm like
too.
real bad at puns.
Well, we can tell her how, if we get the concept of David Bowie back, that everybody will be dancing in the street.
That's
You're
funny.
definitely the
Very
that's
good.
good.
smart one here.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, you're hired.
Okay, one more David Bowie pun.
I don't know. I keep thinking of like a Bowie knife, and I really want to incorporate that in. I just don't know if it can. It doesn't seem like it can. I'm sorry. I am not good at this.
I know. Something with like a Ziggy knife, or like a knife that's got a zigzag pattern to it is a Bowie knife, because Ziggy, I don't know.
Oh, the desserts at the buffet. There was pudding, Ziggy pudding.
Ziggy pudding. I love it.
Like
All right.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Present it, Lady Bun. And then we'll have our Bowie.
She'll go up. She'll go up there with her little paws on her really round belly. She's like, "All right, you can't fool me. You're the one that brought me to the buffet, and I saw them puddings. And I think we need to rebrand, make more money that way. That Ziggy pudding, huh?" She puffs out her chest.
All right, that's 2.
Is the Lady Linelia, what was the one that you said just now? That was really good.
Yeah, we really want the concept of David Bowie back, because if you return him to the people, everyone will be dancing in the streets.
All right, excellent. Well, you all know that, of course, I would love to acquiesce to your request. I am, of course, just and fair. However, there is one slight problem. There are certain words that must be said in order for me to reverse any of my work. Do you happen to know them?
They get printed somewhere easily accessible. Do we all want to do it together, like we're a team?
That always works so well in these instances.
Hold on, I gotta look it back into the recesses of my mind.
Yeah, just scroll up on your mind.
Oh, that we had that big red book.
I tried to steal the big red book and y'all said it wasn't honorable. What I have
Listen
actually
to
looked
us.
at enough to have seen it. I mean, ideally, theoretically.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
You may find the words in question pinned to the channel of your mind if you need them.
Are we gonna say it together?
Yes. Ready?
On the
Are
count
we-
of 3. On 3
Yes.
or after 3?
On 3, exactly 3.
We all know that's how it's gonna go.
Yep.
Gonna be a big menagerie.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on.
1, 2, 3.
Though
Their
dangers
dangers
untold,
untold
and
hardships unnumbered,
I
have
fought
fought
here
way
here
to
to
the
the
castle
castle
beyond
beyond
the
Goblin
Goblin
City.
Take back that which you have
Take
stolen.
back
She have
Stolen.
stolen.
For
my
my
will
will
is as
as
strong
as
yours, and my
kingdom is great.
as great.
You have
no power
over
me.
Does that count?
As you say the legendary words,
Now that's on the
you
internet
see
forever.
a flash of light, and memories that you had thought lost come flooding back into your mind. Ziggy Stardust, the Goblin King, Rebel, all of the tight pants forever. The entire concept of David Bowie returns to you. This is where I would be playing David Bowie music if I didn't want to not get my channel shut down. So just imagine, that in your head. And as you feel this, you also feel just across the world, both the Labyrinth and your worlds, just this energy as the music and style and energy of David Bowie returns to reality. And you hear one final chuckle, just and suddenly all of you reappear at the start of the labyrinth. Before the stone walls, back where those 2 doors were, and your task is completed.
So glad we didn't have to walk back.
Yeah, that fast travel function's really great.
So, with our remaining few minutes, before we go into our outros, I want to hear a sentence or two, short, but just a little bit of what your character does now that you have saved David Bowie. Where in the labyrinth do you live? What do you spend your time doing? And what's next for your character? We'll start with Zubu.
Yeah, Zubu's probably gonna stay in the hedge maze area, and he'll make little what are those hedge sculptures called? But like little dioramas of David Bowie songs.
Excellent. Lady Linelia.
Lady Nelia travels the labyrinth with Mr. Scrabbles, spreading the good word of David Bowie, and making sure to protect the concept from the state forward to make sure that it doesn't disappear again.
Excellent. Lady Bun.
I think Lady Bun, if the Goblin King would permit, she would return to the castle for a full scale of rebranding for the sole purpose of selling David Bowie brand food merchandise. to also reinvigorate and to to have everyone in the labyrinth remember the awesomeness of David Bowie.
Absolutely.
Through food.
The Goblin King will permit it.
But
Scorch.
Scorch would actually like to stay in the Goblin City. Had a great time there, especially with like the puppet shows and stuff, and really found a knack for performing. So would put on like fire shows and firework kind of stuff, and accompanied by sick dance moves, all to the soundtrack of David Bowie.
All right, excellent. And Black Star.
Black Star, big and wearing the tightest pants ever, will unite the kingdoms of the realm of worms, ushering in decades of peace under the oath of David Bowie.
Excellent. All right. And with that, we are going to close our story. David Bowie has been returned to the world, and this has been a very interesting trip through the labyrinth. So, thank you also. First of all, thank you to my players. This was so much fun. Y'all are all fantastic.
So great.
Thank you so much to everybody who donated. We have raised $525 over the last 3 streams, which is incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please continue supporting the Trevor Project in the future if you can. They're a truly incredible organization and very necessary. So thank you so much for that. If you are interested in playing Jim Henson's Labyrinth, this stream was not sponsored, but it's a great game, so I feel like doing it anyway. You can get it yourself. It is from River Horse Games. It is occasionally difficult to find, although I hear a rumor that it's on Amazon now, so maybe less difficult to find. But if you can find it in your local game store, even better. If you can support a small game store, please do. But you can definitely get this yourself if you'd like. It has everything that you need to play. It's all included, and it's in a super cool little book with ribbons and stuff. So definitely check it out if you want to. And go watch Labyrinth, because everyone should watch more Labyrinth.
Yes.
Great. So we're going to go ahead and just do outros. Everybody can say who you are, what you do on the internet, where we can find you, all of that great stuff. And we will start with Mitch.
Hello, I'm Mitch, also known as Penny for a Talent, all the social medias. You can pretty much find me and all my activities there as I DM and play in different games, as well as do necrobiotic stuff, which is a Kickstarter that just finished up, but pre-orders will be open soon. Other than that, you can find me at Gen Con and PAX Unplugged this year, so I'm super excited about that at the IGDN booth. And yeah, just excited. This was awesome. Thank you.
All right, LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame. You can find me everywhere that's important on the internet at The Lady Dame. I'm a late night variety streamer and TTRPG content creator. I stream Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays on my own channel at 9 p.m. Pacific. I'm the host of the infamous Smutty Saturday, so hence why I apologize for like literally everything that I say, where I am joined by guests and together we read erotica and smut of varying qualities. This month on my channel it's Tingle month, so where it's all Chuck Tingle all the time. On Sundays I read stories, and tonight I'm going to be reading some select your own timelines, so I need audience, which requires some audience participation from the Chuck Tingle universe. And then on Tuesday I am playing I play chill indie video games for funsies. Coming up on Friday, speaking of the Trevor Project, I will be running a charity one-shot benefiting the Trevor Project myself over on my own channel. We are playing in the Tingleverse TTRPG. I just recently announced my cast. It's going to be super, super fun and ridiculous. And that's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific over on the Lady Dame on my own channel. So come if you love that kind of stuff and are looking for, romance between dinosaurs and unicorns and stuff, and fighting the void and proving love is real. Come check that out. And I think that's what I've got going on right now.
Awesome. Julian.
Hi, I'm Julian, and I have played Lady Bun. Thank you guys so much for playing and having just creating this really awesome, really fun time. I enjoyed myself greatly, and I'm glad that we raised a whole bunch of money for the Trevor Project and stuff like that. You can catch me over at Guild of the Phoenix, either on Thursdays for a modernized Curse of Strahd campaign, or on Sundays interchangeably for a Cyberpunk Red campaign, or a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. And then you can also catch me over on Jackal and Hare, where we are finishing up our second legend point for a Scion 2E campaign. So if you guys are interested in seeing children of the gods climbing up the ladder towards godhood, be sure to check us out for that.
Awesome. And Anna.
I'm Anna Wotan. Sorry. This was super fun. Thank you again for having me. I am a LGBTQI+ advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. You can find me on Twitter at Anna Wotan. You can find me in the same Cyberpunk Red game that Julian mentioned. Wednesday, starting in July, I will be playing an Animorphs-themed Blades in the Dark campaign over on twitch.tv/Valdrianth. And if you're looking for something to do this afternoon, I will be participating in the Women in Gaming event over on TPK Roleplay's Twitch channel. We're playing Weekend at Strahd's, which is exactly what it sounds like. So come check that out.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And Ed.
Hi, I'm Ed Chuck. I'm Dreaming of Light on Twitter. There you can find some TTRPG and tabletop gaming content. And I also stream on Madbird Streams on Twitch Wednesdays and Fridays at 7. We're in a couple of homebrew campaigns there.
Awesome. And I am Caitlin, also known as a Theaterphile all over the internet. This is my channel. Normally what happens here is vintage gaming, which on my channel means any game that is at least 10 years old. I am not responsible for making you feel old if I have to, so do you. We are playing Kingdom Hearts 2 currently on Wednesday nights and Super Mario RPG on Sunday afternoons. I am taking this week off from streaming because I'm going to be out of town, so the next stream on my channel will be next Sunday afternoon. But tune in for all of those things. I'm also have been on a Invisible, yes, it is an old game. It came out like 15 years ago. You're welcome.
Yeah, that face. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I added the disclaimer, because people kept getting mad at me for pointing out that we're all old people. I was also on an Invisible Sun campaign called Secrets Beyond the Suns that just had our finale yesterday. So all of the VODs and stuff for that game are available. That's over on my friend Mare's channel. It was super, super fun. And we are doing a cast Q&A sometime in the next couple of weeks. So if you have been watching that show and you want to ask us questions, I think Mare has a Google link up somewhere. But that was super fun and you should definitely check it out. Other than that, I think that is all that I've got going on at the moment. So I think that's it. I think that's where we end. Thank you so much again, all of you, for playing characters. Also, thank you, Abby, who couldn't be here today, but who played Clove in the first 2 sessions and was super great. Thank you again to everybody who tuned in, watched. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. It's going to a really, really great cause. Yeah, stay tuned for more tabletop shenanigans on this channel in the future. And we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you all super, super much. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see most of you next week. Good night. Not good night. It's morning. Good day.
See you later.
Good Bowie.